Hey guys, this will be video number 8 on the beginning series. I apologize for the hiatus for 2 months. Life got in the way. But today what we're going to use is I'm going to introduce you to deer hair. And that consists of bucktail. You got your belly hair, which is a longer hair than what the body is. And then you got, of course, your body hair. Now, if you notice, all this come off of northern bucks because they get longer hair during the winter. And our bucks down here in the south does not get this long of a hair. You can use it, but it's going to be a lot shorter, so you're going to be using it on small flies and stuff. But this, you can order a strip of it, and it'll last you a long time. I can't remember when I bought this, but I give like $11 for it. And like I say, that's a lot of time. So today what we're going to do is tie a bucktail, and then we'll go over them other ones on the next videos. Plus, I'm going to introduce you to hand painting your eyes on your jigs. And what I use is different diameter rods or pins. This one is about a 1/4 inch, and this is really the biggest one that I'll use for painting. And we're going to be tying on a 1/4 ounce jig today, and it's got a small collar, and that helps the deer hair push out. And what we're going to be doing is tying two-tone. We're going to be using the white, and then we're going to put just a little bit of red on the underbelly. And the reason because I've already painted this jig head, and I've already cured them. And what we're going to be working with is this right here. Like I said, that is a 1/4 ounce, and this is where I was talking about. It's got the small collar. When these jigs are poured, they actually have a longer piece on here for putting your plastics on, and you cut that off and end up with that collar right there that we're going to be dealing with. And you can see that the eyes are recessed on this jig. This is a walleye jig. I have this mode and I pour my own. And like I said, it's powder painted and cured, and we'll even get into how we're doing this two-tone, even a single powder coating, and then the curing process. But for this jig, we're going to use this bucktail, and I'm going to show you how to paint these eyes. I'm going to start with a black, and then later I'll come back and actually put a white dot in there for the pupils. So let's get to tying. Give me a second, just turn this around. We'll get set up on her. Now, bucktail being a longer hair, you can really tie it according to what size jig head you're using. But on your deer tail, you're going to be using most time it's the underbody that is dyed. They'll dye the whole tail, but like you see that's red. But then when you flip it over, it'll have more of a black red. And don't throw this away, because all this is usable also. I see a lot of people uses them like that, and then they toss them. But all this back hair is usable, just like the white ones. I mean, this is a natural bucktail. But even this brown hair, see, that's different colors. Don't throw none of that away. Use it. Okay, for this one, being a 1/4 ounce, I'm going to use the bucktail as long as it is. I'm not going to cut it down to the length. I'm going to leave it long. And what we're going to do, most time I use red on bucktails for the collar, because all this is going to be is just a collar jig. Before I start tying, take a little bit of super glue and coat the thread. And all this does is help tie into that hair to the jig. So we're gonna cut a size about the size of a pencil, and we're gonna square off them ends, and we're gonna start it on top. But what we're gonna do is actually kind of roll it as you're tying it in. All right, then we're gonna turn it up on its edge. We want to add a little bit here and a little bit here to fill in that jig, and it, like I said, it'll be the same amount. All three sections. It's going to be the same. Tie it and let the hair roll. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to tie in one more section. Ends right. Tie it in. You can do this with two. It's just a bigger glob that you're going to be messing with, amount of materials, and it's just easier to do the three turn. And now you got the bucktail all the way around that jig. All right, my two tones, I always like a white, whatever the bottom tone is, that's the color bucktail I use, just to highlight the bottom. And this will give it kind of a red gill look to the fish, or injured, especially with the red. And we're just going to tie it on the bottom. Now you're using about half of a side of a pencil, probably about half size pencil for the bottom. Most time I don't tie flash in these, but this one I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add a little bit of red. Probably about there's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's about 10 strands there. So what we're going to do, we're going to tie this in on the side. Cut off about the length. Then we're going to roll it over. We'll tie it on this side. Cut it about the length. Then on this collar, we're just going to take and wrap it until all the material is covered. Make your jigs look nice. If you're going to do them, it's worth doing them right. All it takes is a little bit more to get everything covered up. All right. Now we'll whip finish. All right. What I'm going to do, I am not going to finish the thread yet, and the reason is because painting my eyes. And like I said, it's going to be a two steps. So what I'll do is paint black, and then I'll come back once it's dried and put a little white dot with a smaller diameter rod. And then once I get my eyes finished, I'll come back and put a coat of fingernail polish, clear fingernail polish, over the eyes, and I'll coat the thread with the fingernail polish, and it just ties it all in. All right, for these eyes, let's see, what I'm going to do is use black. I find something that's got a recess area, and with this one, I ain't going to need much glue. Paint. So I'm just going to put a little dab in there. So what we're going to do, like I said, this is a quarter inch rod, and I rounded the edge so it don't have a bad spot on it. And what we do, we just touch that paint, and we're going to pull this jig up here, and we're just going to touch that eye socket. Then we're going to go over here, touch that eye socket. All right, as you can see, that jig now has eyes, and with a little white dot, it's just going to give it a pupil. A lot of times I use white to begin with and then a black dot, but with this jig being white, I want them eyes to stand out. And like I said, all we do is come back with a white. Let me see if I can do that now without being a mess. All right, so we got the white. This is just craft paint. Ain't nothing. This is I buy this at Hobby Lobby. It's an acrylic paint, gloss white, gloss black, use yellow. Most time it's black and white, but I do like a yellow too. I'm just going to put a little dot of white on my cup. All right, this dial here, it's an aluminum. I bought it at one of the hardware stores, and this is a 3/32, and this is the size I like to use to paint the dot on these. Now this is unusual. Normally I let it dry, but I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So we're just going to touch it with the white. We'll come over here and touch that. All right, let's see how that eye looks. Man, it's an awesome eye. Like I said, most times you let them dry and then you come back and touch it, but I wanted to do this one just so you'll see the finished look on them. And then once it dries over, I put fingernail polish on and wrap the head. A lot of people use Sally Henson. I just go to Dollar Tree and buy the dollar jar. It works just as well. And that, my friends, is the bucktail. And this is a 1/4 ounce, but I tie them all the way down to 1/16 and half tied 1/32. But you're going to be using a lot less of the hair. You know, you're going to try to keep the body arranged as far as the size of the head. But that whole jig is probably, let's see, 4, 5, 6, about 5 inches long from nose to tip. So that's the lesson this week, but tiny bucktail jigs. And I'll add another video next week, and we will tackle the belly hair or either the body hair, and I'll show you how to tie that in. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep a watch out for the new videos. Tell your friends and family about my channel. Have them come over. I would like to see more hits on the videos. I don't understand why. It amazes me how a person can do this and get 1 million views, but then the other ones just don't get the views like they should. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're learning from this video series. And until next time, go out and get on the water, fish every chance you get. You never know when your last time's going to be. So, y'all have a good one. Stay safe, and God bless.